Natalie had recently moved into a new apartment, and after weeks of searching, she finally found the perfect dining table. It was a large, antique-style wooden table with intricate carvings, something that seemed to bring warmth to the otherwise modern space. She was excited when the delivery men arrived. They were quiet, almost too quiet, but they quickly placed the heavy table in her living room and left without a word. When Natalie unwrapped the table, a small, rusted key fell out from underneath the foam padding. It was an old-fashioned key, heavy and ornate, with strange engravings that read, "For when you are ready." She stared at it for a moment, puzzled, but shrugged it off and placed the key on the table. That night, as she sat down to eat, she couldn't shake the uneasy feeling that something was wrong. The apartment was too quiet. But then, when she went to bed, she pushed the thought aside and fell asleep. The next morning, she woke to an unsettling sight. The dining table wasn't where she had left it. It had been moved to the center of the room. She was certain she had placed it against the wall the night before. Confused, she checked the rest of the apartment, but the key was gone. Her heart began to race. She looked under the table, in the nearby drawers, and even searched the floor, but the key was nowhere to be found. Panicking, she forced herself to leave for work, trying to shake off the feeling of dread. Later that evening, Natalie came home, and the first thing she noticed was the table. It was back against the wall, exactly where she had originally placed it. But what made her freeze was the key. It was sitting on the table, exactly where she had left it the night before. Her stomach twisted with unease. She didn't remember placing it there. The key was cold in her hand as she examined it again. The engraving now felt different, like it was meant for something more than decoration. Suddenly, there was a soft click, a sound she hadn't heard before. She turned to see the door to the closet in the back of the apartment was ajar. It had been closed earlier. Hesitant, she approached the door, key still in hand. Inside the closet, an old wooden chest sat in the corner. Natalie felt a chill run down her spine. The key fit perfectly in the lock. With trembling hands, she opened it. Inside, there was nothing but an old, yellowed piece of paper. She pulled it out, her breath catching in her throat. The note read, "You shouldn't have opened it." Suddenly, the door to the closet slammed shut with a deafening crash. Natalie turned around, heart racing, and froze. Standing in the corner of her apartment was the shadowy silhouette of a figure, tall, thin, and completely still. She couldn't see its face, but it was watching her. Before she could scream, the figure moved closer, and the lights flickered. A voice, low and hoarse, whispered, "It's too late now."